Hello, my name is Raviel Dushimire, and I'm going to be taking you through this presentation that I called Making the Call. What I'm going to be talking about is basically answering the questions that we were asked. The first one is does the practice generate enough cash to cover its current obligations? Is the practice likely to be able to meet its long-term obligations as they become due? Is the practice increasing its patient encounters and collecting its accounts receivable in a timely manner? Practices net worth or equity and profitability improvement, impact of hospitals acquisition of Dr. Fido's practice, impact the future financial performance, and then I'll give recommendations. So answering the first question, does the practice generate enough cash to cover its current obligations? I think yes, the practice generated enough cash to cover its current obligations since the two which are acid test and current ratio are greater, they are all greater than 1, which are shown in these two tables. For current ratio, we can see that in 2013, it is 1.6 times, 68 times, and in 2014, we can see that it is 1.24 times. Then for acid test ratio, in 2013, you can see that it was 1.28 times, in 2014, 1.08 times, which show that all was greater than 1, and that implies that the practice generated enough cash to cover its current obligations. The other question is the practice likely to be able to meet its long-term obligations as they become due? Yes, the practice is able to meet its long-term obligation. This is because considering the debt to assets ratio for both periods, the assets were able to cover the debts and also 4.5% remained in operations. So this shows that really the practice was able to meet the long-term obligation that it had given itself. In addition to the above, the times interest earned made an increase from negative 26.54 in 2013 to 1.919 in 2014. So this shows that there was really an addition from a negative to something very positive. Just like it is shown here in the table, in 2013, the debt to asset ratio was 95.5%, and 2014, the debt to asset ratio was 96.6%. The other question is the practice increasing its patient encounters and collecting its accounts receivable in a timely manner? I found that the practice is not collecting accounts receivables in a timely manner, since it is seen that periods increased from 2013 to 2014. The patient encounters of the practice is decreasing, looking at the total assets turnover and inventory turnover. The ratios are shown here in the table, where we can see that inventory turnover 2013 was 13.29 and 2014 was 10.30. It is really the trend wasn't good, it was worse. In average collection period in 2013 was 60 days, and 2014 was 87.88, which was worse. Fixed assets turnover was 5.15 times, and in 2014 it was 6.49 times, which is better. Then total assets turnover 2013 was 1.97 times, and 2014 was 1.64 times, which is better. Then the practices net worth or equity and profitability improvement. The net worth of the practice is $8,173 in 2014, and in 2013 it was $7,660. That is showing that it is increasing based on the fact that it increased from $7,660 to $8,173. Yeah. Then the practice's profitability is increasing as well based on the ratios. We saw before that the profit margin on revenue went from negative 6.7% to 0.17. That is an increase, which shows that it is increasing. Then return on total assets also went from negative 13.22 to 0.27. Return on equity went from negative 294.5% to 6.29%, which shows an increase. The impact of hospitals' acquisition of Dr. Fido's practice impact the future financial performance. There are various impacts. The first one is the acquisition will bring about increase in assets. This means that if the diagnostic device increases debts to assets will also be better. Then the payout will make improvement to profitability ratio of the practice. There is also likely to be a shareholders to be there's going to be people are going to take shares, so those shareholders are going to be developing financially, and that is contributing to the growth of the community that they live in. As the profit increases, the number of target customers also increases. And as the number of target customers increases, the more brand name it is taking and the more profits again it is making. Then the expenses might also reduce, such as Subli's practices from. Then the recommendations. I'm strongly recommending buying the practice because of the following reasons. There is going to be a reduction in the payout, then new opportunities like the 200 inpatients as well as the community that is going to benefit from just like I mentioned the shareholders. Then increase in assets. For instance, the diagnostic device. This is something that they did not have before. So if it comes in to be something, it will be a new asset and that is going to be of very much importance. Then there's also going to be increase in profitability, of course, because when the business is running, something has to increase in profitability. Yeah, and then this is the resource that I used to get the information that I shared with you, and I'm glad you had time to listen to my presentation. I was very grateful to present to you, and I hope this was very much useful. Thank you.